there, y'all. I just want to share with you what we did to cover our wall spigot on the outside of our house before the last freezing weather that we had. We looked at Walmart for one of these handy dandy contraptions that cost $2 a piece, although why, I don't know, other than demand. But our Walmart was out of these, and we didn't know where the ones we had from last year were located in our enclosed patio. So I did this makeshift option, and it worked for what we needed. The only reason we're replacing it now for the cold weather tonight is because of our dogs. They chewed it up. Now, having said that, our dogs will chew this up too. We haven't come up with a good way to keep them from doing that. We've been trying to put items around the ground so they can't reach towards the spigot, but again, we're still trying to figure out what we can place there that they won't climb on to still get to it. So the purpose of this video is just to give you an idea on something you can do really cheap, and hopefully with items you have around the house, that will allow you to cover your pipes if you can't find any of these in the store right before freezing weather. We had to replace a pipe in the back, and so we purchased these three, I think it was a set of 3 foam pipe covers. Now, if you don't want to purchase, you can look around your house to see if you have something else that will work. You're wanting something that's styrofoam and preferably curved. So if you have some pool noodles that you don't want to carry over to the next season, you could use those as well. And you're just going to cut the pieces to fit. Now with these, you already have a slice down the length of them. So if you're using a pool noodle, you'll need to do that before you can do your other cutting to fit it to your spigot and make it personalized and form-fitted for yours. But this is an easy way to do it. If you also have to replace a pipe, you can use the old one that was on your pipe. That'll give it a second purpose, even if it's starting to crumble apart. As long as it can still stay together, you could reuse that, because you're just going to trash it after the cold weather is done anyway. So let's go on out there and see how we did it.
Go ahead.
Alright, so we're essentially going to reverse engineer, because we're not creating it again. I'm just going to show you how I did it. So you use duct tape or any heavy duty tape that you have on property, and you're taping it to itself, not to the wall. Now I have used clear packing tape in years past, and it has created this not so pleasant look that's on the wall. I didn't care at the time. I just didn't want my pipes to freeze, and I didn't have anything else, so I actually used a styrofoam fast food cup and stuffed it and taped it on, and even that worked. So that's an even cheaper method, or maybe some other items you have lying around the house. If you have styrofoam cups and some plastic bags. However, the thing I don't like about putting a cup over it and taping it to the wall is you get that ugly look. And I'm sure there's some sort of product I can use to get that off, but it's been there for several years, so I think I'm just kind of out of luck. So if you don't want that to mess up your house, obviously you don't want to do that, which is why I like this method, because again, it's form-fitted. If you want to come down, please. It's form-fitted around your spigot, and you can tape it on itself. And you're just taking your curved styrofoam pieces and piecing them in there and taping as you go. And once you get it all taped on, you just use a lot of tape to go around the entire piece and close off the end, because your end is going to have some gaps and holes, and you don't want to leave that. So, and of course that's the part our dogs started chewing up. So as I cut this piece off, we'll look kind of closely, because see, I just took shorter pieces, fitted it to the width to place it around the actual pipe itself, and then for the spigot I cut a longer piece that came underneath the length here, right? So it's that length. And then I took some other pieces and just kind of stuffed them around. So when I had that around here, I took a piece and stuffed it all the way to the spout. I took another piece to kind of stuff up inside so there wasn't a large air gap. And then I took another piece to cover, see, from the end to right up here, so that when I put my top piece, it covered everything in. Alright, so that's essentially all it is. The crux of it is you want to put as much styrofoam around your pipe as you can without leaving an air gap. Now, having said that, these obviously leave an air gap whenever you put it over, whichever way you want to, whichever direction you want to put it on. So it's not critical if you do still have some air gaps, but in my opinion, the less air gap there is, the better insulation and the better protected your spout will be. So we're going to throw this on, and then we're going to try to figure out a way to keep our dogs from getting too close to here. Thank y'all for joining us, and let me turn this off. Hope to see y'all next time. Thanks for joining us.